All right. Hi, Andrea. I'm here with Andrea Goldman. We want to thank you so much for sponsoring and participating in SpringFest. We are so grateful for your sponsorship. Andrea Goldman is the founder of Family College Experience and has helped many of our community's high school students to navigate the college application process. Andrea, it is so nice to get a chance to speak with you today.
Thank you. Great to talk to you today, Lori.
Yeah, so why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and Family College Experience?
Sure. So in my prior life, I was an attorney and I practiced for about 13 years, but I didn't really find that to be fulfilling and wanted to take my career in a different direction. So I was very involved in the school district and found that I really enjoyed working with students and really helping them to understand the whole college application process. And I just think it's been great to work with students to help them find a list of schools that could be a good fit for them and to help take the stress level down a few notches by keeping them organized.
And what would you say is one thing that distinguishes you from your competition?
I think one of my characteristics is that, I really feel like I am empowering my students. I really want them to be comfortable connecting to me, advocating for themselves. And I think that I'm preparing them to be ready to take on responsibility in college.
That's great. And how has the Chamber helped your business?
I think I've met a lot of other people through the Chamber. I've had the opportunity to learn about their businesses as well. And I've certainly had referrals both from Chamber members themselves. I've worked with their students, with their kids, as well as people that they've referred to me.
That's great. I know you're very involved in the Chamber. What would you say is the most challenging part of your business?
I think the changing landscape within college admissions, the fact that it is really hard to tell students where their applications are going to land. And I think the hardest part is telling a top student who's worked really hard, done everything right, feels like they deserve to get their pick of a college. And I have to bring them down to reality that it isn't always about them. So I think I get too involved and I care very much, and it makes me sad that they don't get to automatically choose where they want to go.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of changes. What are some of the changes that you've seen recently with the college application process?
Well, the most well-known one is the fact that colleges have now gone to test optional, which for some students is great because standardized testing is not their thing. But the flip side is that it's increased the number of applications. And therefore, a school who normally received about 30,000 applications all of a sudden has 55,000, but they don't have any more beds than they used to. So it just becomes a lot more competitive and a lot more frustrating to predict.
Yeah. And what would be a home run for you regarding SpringFest?
Are we talking personally or on behalf of the Chamber?
Either one.
Okay. I like the SpringFest. I like the opportunity to be outside and talk to people in the community. My job is pretty solitary. I work right now through Zoom, but even when I wasn't doing Zoom, it's still really one-on-one, and I love talking to people. So just having the opportunity to be in an environment where I get to see members of the community, that's really special. And in terms of the Chamber, what I think would be great is to just see such great community turnout to come and support us, and people get to know all of the great things about being in the Planview-Old Bethpage community.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great. And on a personal level, who are your role models or mentors?
Oh, yikes. I guess when I think back to career-wise in terms of law, certainly a lot of the women who were very strong role models, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, breaking a lot of barriers. I think that my role models, I don't have a specific person, or if I did, I probably would need to do a little bit more thinking about it. But I think I'm inspired by people who really have a heart and care about other people and want to make everything better, that they're looking out for other people more so than themselves.
Oh, that's a good answer. And would you encourage young students to follow in your career path? Do you think that it's something you would?
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting aspect. I think that it certainly, allows people to get to work with students in a different capacity. At one point, I did contemplate going back to school to specifically be a school-based counselor, but I felt that there are so many amazing things that the school counselors do that I just didn't think that I wanted that as my focus. So I think for students starting out, maybe that would be a better career path to start through that and really get to understand students and teenagers and their growth. But in terms of having my own business and my flexibility, I definitely would recommend that. I think it's been great to allow me to schedule things, go visit colleges, talk to admissions reps. There's a lot of flexibility that I have as being a business owner.
And what would you say is one thing that people don't know about you?
One thing that people don't know about me. Well, they may know that I really enjoy the arts. Very involved in the school district's shows. But one thing they may not know is that I have basically zero talent. Can't sing, tried dancing, but anybody who's ever listened to me, they'd know that about me.
Oh, and I thought you were going to tell us that you were like a music major and had like Broadway experience or something. So
that's not happening.
And just, I guess on a final note, what would you say are you most proud of?
Well, I think my answer has to be my kids.
Oh.
That the fact that they have become, and they're not finished becoming, but so far they've become such great humans. People I look up to. They're also taller than I am, but people who they really just have such great hearts. So I think I'm most proud, to the extent that I had anything to do with that. And I'm not saying for sure that I did, but I think I'm just most proud of who they've become.
Oh, that's great answer. And you definitely did. Is there anything else you want to add or say?
Well, I just think that the chamber really is a great place for people to get to know other people. And I think that if anybody's on the fence about joining and getting involved, I'd be happy to personally talk to them and make them feel welcome. I think the hardest thing about the chamber or any organization is walking into that first meeting feeling like you don't know anybody. So I would hope that if somebody is hesitant to join because they feel like they don't know people, give me a call. Yeah, I'd love to meet up and bring you to a meeting so that you can feel like you make connections.
Yeah, that's great. And I can attest that's what you did for me when I first went to join. So I thank you for that. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and help us learn more about your business.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for doing this.
At SpringFest.
Yep. May 22nd, 22.
22.